It's finally here. We did it. It is, in fact, comparative religion. Yes. It is June, and I am excited. So, I get to give the lecture only once today, which is sad, and it's mostly because, well, I've got to grade all those essays over there. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get going. If you didn't get a chance yet to get the 2 documents that you need, go ahead and grab those. They are the assignment sheet as well as the note sheet. Note sheet looks like this. It's literally set up so that you can take your notes directly into it on the lectures and the readings. There's a link to the pretest. It's, yo man, you want a 5-page guide of exactly how to ace that test? Yeah, dude, straight up. It's got all of your questions in it. There's one for each day. Cool beans. There will be 2 generally, and you've got the religion cheat sheet at the bottom. Literally, the last page on both of your note takers is the study guide for your test, which is open note. All right, so let's get going, shall we? Oh yeah, these are also turned in for grades. I will put the submission up once we get into week 2. So, all right, let's go ahead and walk through your assignment sheet. It's pretty straightforward. Why do you learn this? You learn this because the United States has become a nation of deeply faithful religious illiterates. And what a travesty it is to know when those without faith know the most about it. So, the United States, straight up, you might have noticed wandering around here, is one of the most religious places on earth. But it is also a nation that knows very little about religion. Only 10% of American teenagers can name all 5 major religions. 15% can't name any. And this holds true in generally my lived experience. I hang around a high school kind of all the time, and yeah, no one's ever told you guys these things, so let's go ahead. 2/3 of Americans, no kidding, think the Bible has the answers for most or all of life's basic questions, but only half of them can even name one of the 4 Gospels. And most Americans can't name the first book in the Bible. Yikes. Okay, so Americans tend to know even less about non-Christian religions. Despite this lack of basic knowledge, politicians make laws and arguments based on religious ideas and judgments. So the vast majority of Americans do not understand the religious texts or practices these laws and policies are based on. So, okay, cool. I'll stop ranting. But so what do you have to do? This unit exists to get you the basic information on faiths necessary to just navigate the world as a functional adult. It is a high interest, low stakes unit, mostly because I can't have you wandering around not knowing this. So yeah. All right. You'll get each of the lectures. They're in folders. You can use that information to build your note sheet and your study guide. The folders also have your readings and supplemental readings, some videos, things like that. You'll complete those as well. If for whatever reason you're absent, the lectures are recorded and they're all just in these little color-coded files, bros. You've got this, right? Once you finish, use cheat sheet or study guide to help you ace the open note quiz. Down here is the calendar. We're here. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm out, but hey, video is there. Then we'll do, yeah. So today is religious literacy. Tomorrow is freedom of religion. Monday is shamanism, animism, and the evolution of religion. Day 4 is the Vedic traditions like Hinduism and Jainism. And then 5, we do Buddhism and Chinese traditions. Day 6, we'll do old monotheisms like Judaism, Zoroastrianism. And day, the 10th is campus day. That's when all missing and late work is due. So get that one together. The last week of school, we have the large faiths. That Monday is Christianity and Islam. And day 8 is small but vital. That would be minority faiths. That's where a lot of your questions actually live. So be sure to be here on Tuesday. On the 15th, the quiz will open. We'll have a review. On the 16th, the quiz will close. And the honors attestation is also due. 17th is last day of school. Done. All right, there's also a study guide here on the back, so make sure that you've got both this and, well, your note sheet. Okay, so first things first, you guys are going to pause me for a solid minute, and you and the person sitting next to you are going to list all of the religions you can think of. Go. And we're back. All right. So, now you've got like a handy list. You'll come back to that after the lecture. Let's talk a little bit. So, religious literacy is a skill, like a whole real skill. The Harvard School for Divinity, you know, people who know what the hell they're talking about, say a religiously literate person can do three things. And yes, this will be on your quiz. One, they understand the history, the central books, when they're applicable, not all faiths have books, practices and beliefs, and modern religious expression of the world's religions, right? Hellenism was practiced very differently in 300 BCE. Judaism was practiced very differently in 1000 BCE, yeah? But you need to understand how things are done now. Two, a religiously illiterate person understands that religions grew out of and continue to be shaped by society and history and culture. The third thing you can do is you'll have the ability to discern and explore the religious aspects of politics, society, and culture across time and place. So, study versus devotion. Let's address the elephant in the room real fast. Studying a religion does not mean believing in a religion. However, when you study a religion, you still need to respect the people inside of it. So, here are the two things you are required to do in a comparative religions class. 1, religion scholars view all religions as equally legitimate. Legitimate and true are not the same word, even though their claims are also not the same. Believers in different faiths hold vastly different claims to fact, and there's no way that their claims can be true at the same time, right? The second thing you do is you know that it is appropriate for believers to assert that their theology is correct. That's a lot of big words, but basically means it's okay for people who believe in a religion, in fact, better than okay, that's what they should do, to say that their scripture, their experience is the right one. Cool, you guys are smart enough to hold two things in your head at once, right? Neat. Okay, I would like to address probably the biggest piece of BS I've ever heard in my life. All religions are basically the same. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. What sort of misplaced ecumenicism is that? No, they are not. Religions are very, very different in belief, in practice, and in values, right? Polytheists versus monotheists, right? Like, yeah, that's going to be a big one. There's one God or there's more than one God. Is there an afterlife? Very different beliefs on that. Which one you might go to and for what? There are different values. There are different prohibitions. There are different practices and holidays. Sure, it's pretty surface level. Usually, if you studied comparative religion at all in like the lower grades, that's what you got. But directly, they claim different facts are true. Religions are also diverse internally. What that means is there are lots of different ways to be that faith. This is a map of the various types of Christianity. Why don't you guys go ahead, in the United States anyway, and pause me, take a look at the chart. And we're back. All right. So, yeah, you guys surely noticed like where all the Mormons live, where all the Baptists live, etc. But different sects have different expressions. Sect, by the way, is a word you will need to know. Yeah, different sects of Christianity include Roman Catholics, Orthodox Christians, Protestants, Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism for Hinduism, right? Differences within sects or expressions are because religious communities function in different political or social contexts, right? So you've probably heard some of the following. Buddhists are nonviolent. Christians oppose abortion. Religion and science are incompatible. None of these statements are true. Not a single one of those is a fact. What they all are theological assertions, which is also a vocabulary word. What that means is that people who believe in that faith, in that sect, will assert that those things are true. They are not a fact for all believers. All right. Religions change and evolve over time. We'll actually come back to this chart that talks about how things evolved out of a shamanism early on. But a lot of things, depending on the religion, have been prohibited or praised over time. Just kind of depends. Like the Southern Baptist Convention in the 1970s wrote, like, abortion is great, totally perfect, you should just do it. In 2003, reversed it. You have no idea how many different religions at one point were like, slavery's fine. And then we're like, nah, that's shit, don't do that. They evolve, they change, they are not the same. All right. Religion also influences all aspects of culture. It's not private. It can't be. Believers act on those beliefs, and they do it pretty differently depending. These are 3 older news stories, right? Trump had tried to have a Muslim ban. The Archbishop was pissed at the Pope about his gay rights supportive comments, and a sick man was shot in our state in a hate crime. More recently, religious groups have been banding together to try and save Roe. And the alleged Buffalo shooter was an Islamophobe. It's not a private matter. It's very public, for better or for worse. All right. So, I'm going to give you guys a minute to fill in your religion cheat sheet. That's what you're up to. Right? Please use the textbook. The textbook, you have one. And I want you to start there. Start with Beck and then move to Strayer. I would like you to, for as many of the religions as you can find, and you should easily be able to find the big 5. You can add in the central figures or gods, the holy texts, the holidays, and the places of worship. I built those questions off of the specific answers in the textbook, so you'll do better off if you're using those. And the rest of the period is yours to work on. Whenever you finish this, you can do missing or late work for another class.